Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Jai Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Jayani Sai Gita Bhavana Nita Bhavana Devam Vishnupada Paramhamsa Parivajaka Acharya Kastotra Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Dasa Guru Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai All Gurus Assembly Devotees Hare Krishna All Gurus Assembly Devotees Hare Krishna All Gurus Assembly Devotees Hare Krishna All Gurus Sri Guru and Sri Guru Prabhupada Ki Jai Hare Krishna, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, text number 39 to 40. Imam lokam tataiva imam lokam tataiva atmanam ubayayinam atmanam anuyecha eraha pashavo graha eraya pashavo graha visrujya sarvan anyamscha mam evam visvato mukam bhajantananya bhaktyaya tan mrityor atiparaye imam lokam tataivamum atmanam anuyecheha eraya pashavo graha visrujya sarvam anyamscha mam evam vishvato mukam bhajantananyaya bhaktyaya tan mrityor atiparaye. Purport and translation and purport by Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Sri Prabhupada. Thus, the devotee who worships me the all-pervading Lord of the universe, in unflinching devotion service, gives up all aspirations to be promoted to the heavenly planets or to become happy in this world with wealth, children, cattle, home, or anything in relationship with the body. I take him to the other side of birth and death. I repeat the translation. Thus, the devotee who worships me, the all-pervading Lord of the universe, in unflinching devotion service, gives up all aspirations to be promoted to heavenly planets or to be happily or to become happy in this world with wealth, children, cattle, home, or anything in relationship with the body. I take him to other side of birth and death. Purport. Unflinching devotion service, as described in these two verses, means engaging oneself in Krishna consciousness or devotion service, accepting Supreme Lord as all in all. Since the Supreme Lord is all inclusive, if anyone worships him with unflinching faith, he automatically achieves all other opulences and performed all other duties. The Lord promotes The Lord promises herein that he takes his devotee to the other side of birth and death. Lord Chaitanya therefore recommends that one who aspires to go beyond birth and death should have no material possessions. This means that one should not try to be happy in this world or to be promoted to the heavenly world, nor should they try to nor should they try for material wealth, children, house, and cattle. How the liberation is how liberation is imperceptibly achieved by pure devotee and what the symptoms are have been explained. For the conditioned soul, there are two statuses of living. One status is in this present life, and other is and the other is our perception for next life. If I'm in the mode of goodness, then I may be preparing for promoting to the higher planets. If I'm in a mode of passion, then I shall remain here in this society where the activity is very prominent. And if I'm in the mode of ignorance, I may be degraded to the animal life or lower grade of human life. But for a devotee, there is no concern for this life or next life. Because in any life, he does not desire evolution in material prosperity or high grade or low grade life. He prays to the Lord, my Lord, it does not matter where I am born, but let me be born even as an ant in the house of a devotee. A pure devotee does not pray to the Lord for liberation from this material bondage. Actually, the pure devotee never thinks that he is fit for liberation. Considering his past life and his mischievous activities, he thinks that he is fit to be sent to the lowest regions of the hell. If in this life I am trying to become a devotee, this does not mean that in my past many lives I was 100% pious. That is not possible. A devotee is therefore always conscious of his real position. Only by his full surrender unto the Lord, by the Lord's grace, are the suffering made shorter. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, surrender unto me and I will surrender unto me and I will give you I will give you protection from all kinds of sinful reactions. This is the mercy. But this does not mean that one who has surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord has committed no misdeeds in his past life. A devotee always prays, for my misdeeds may I be born again and again, but My only prayer is that I may not forget your service. The devotee has that much mental strength that he prays to the Lord, may I be born again and again. But let me born in the home of your pure devotee so that I may again get a chance to develop myself. A pure devotee is not anxious to elevate himself in his next life. He is already given. He's already given up that sort of hope. In any life in which one is born, a householder or as an animal, one must have some children, some resources and or some possessions. But a devotee is not anxious to possess anything. He is satisfied with whatever obtainable by God's grace. He is not at all attached to he is not at all attached to improving his social status or improving the status of education of his children. He is neglectful. He is dutiful. Sorry, he is not neglectful. He is dutiful, but he does not spend too much of time on upliftment of temporary household or social life. He engages in the service of the Lord and other affairs. He simply spares as much as time as absolutely necessary. Yatartham upa Yatartham upa life or in this life. He does not even care for family, children, or society. He fully engages in the service of the Lord Krishna. This he fully engages in the service of Lord in Krishna consciousness. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that without knowledge of the devotee and the devotee, the Lord arranges for him to be immediately transferred to the Lord's transcendental abode just after he leaves his body. After quitting the body, he does not go into the womb of another mother, the ordinary common living entity. After the death, he is transferred into the womb of another mother according to his karma or activities to take another type of body. But as far as the devotee is concerned, he is at once transferred to the spiritual world in association of the Lord. That is Lord's special mercy. How is it possible to explain in following? How is it possible is explained in the following words? Because he is all powerful. The Lord can do anything and everything. He can excuse all sinful reactions. Om Ajnana तिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Pancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhe Evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate girim yatkrupatamaham vande Sri Gurun Dinataranam Paramanandamatam Sri Chaitanyeshwaram. Hare Krishna. The six blessings of all the devotees here. So here in this verse, Lord Kapiladev is explaining the glories of devotion service. So I was hearing today's morning a discussion by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, where Maharaj states, bhakti is not achieved by our own endeavor. There is no like you cannot make your qualification. Bhakti cannot be achieved through yoga or through study of the scriptures, including Srimad Bhagavatam itself. For the our proficiency in the scriptures, or our knowledge, or anything, any charity that we do, or our qualification that we think that we are eligible, or a high birth, all those things are not sufficient to attain bhakti. So then what is bhakti? Like bhakti is not yoga. If you see the life of a famous yogi who is Hiranyakashipu, like you, he was able to stand on the tiptoes for thousands of years, which not even like it is not possible for us to stand for 1 minute. He was standing on the tiptoes and raised arms, and his body was eaten up by the ants, and he was meditating on Brahmaji. But later on he was killed by Lord Narasimha. So he was the greatest of the yogis. Like Lord Brahma himself says, nobody was able to perform such a posture like yogic penances like you. I was very much pleased. Ask whatever you want. That's why he was end up giving this very very abnormal benediction. So bhakti is about jnanis, like or somebody who does austerities, like Maharaj gives one nice example about this brahmachari who drinks only milk. So like he was very austere, very knowledgeable, very pure. Even bhakti doesn't matter, your purity and all these things. But that brahmachari was very pure, and he was approaching Srivas Thakur every time again and again, to let him to into Srivas Angan, where he could see Mahaprabhu's dancing. So due to his eagerness, like the Srivas Thakur makes him to enter into the that close circle of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in the evening when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and when he starts Sankirtan, and then when he starts dancing, he immediately realizes that he immediately realizes that there is somebody who is not supposed to be here. Then he immediately stops the dance and says, is there anybody who is not supposed, like anybody here who is not supposed to be? Then Srivas Thakur says first, like out of his fear to cover up, he says, there is no atheist, there is no sense gratifiers, but there is one brahmachari who only drinks milk. And Mahaprabhu becomes so angry. He says, get out of that milk drinker out of my sight. Otherwise, I will rip him off right now. So, and immediately that brahmachari comes out of under the basket and he started going out. His mood was, so I'm not qualified at all. And Mahaprabhu's anger on me is proper. I don't have any qualification, and Mahaprabhu is quite merciful on me. And his chastisement, is like his chastisement is perfect. He didn't think, hey, what did I do? I just saw, I just want sitting in a corner and watching his dance. What great loss he is going to get about this. like no, I'm so austere person. I didn't do any sinful reaction. No scripture says nothing. Like no, such a brahmachari can be at any fault. So how can he find so many faults in me? He didn't think like that. He thought like no, I have no qualification, but I transgressed his Mahaprabhu's desire and tried to see Mahaprabhu's dance. And that's why he was feeling very humble and he was very grateful and he was walking out. And Mahaprabhu realized the humility in his heart and then he immediately calls him back. And he says, see, like you cannot achieve Krishna by simply by your austerity. So never think like that. And he educates and then he says, only by devotion service one can attain Krishna. So then what is bhakti is all about? Bhakti cannot be achieved through study of the scriptures. Bhakti cannot be achieved through, through good qualities, austerities, and bhakti cannot be achieved by our own individual purity. Bhakti cannot be achieved by our own sadhana. Then what is bhakti all about? And this, for this to explain, we have to go through another story of Devanand Pandit. Now we all know, right? Devanand Pandit was a great scholar of Srimad Bhagavatam, and he was a great. He knows all the Vedic literature, and he was very famous in Navadip. So Navadip is a place of very high-profile scholars. So to have that fame in Navadip area is not an easy thing. So he has very good command on all the Vedic scriptures and everything, and he was very profound reciter of Srimad Bhagavatam. But he was explaining everything in with Mayavadis, but he was twisting Srimad Bhagavatam according to Mayavad philosophy. So one time, like what happened, like Srivas Thakur was there. Srivas Thakur was listening this Devanand Pandit's Srimad Bhagavatam recitation. As soon as he hears Srimad Bhagavatam recitation, he becomes so ecstatic and he started exhibiting these ecstatic symptoms of crying, rolling on the ground, all those things in the assembly of where Devanand Pandit and his disciples are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. So that time they felt it is very disturbing. So what they do, that like his disciples, what they did, they actually took Srivas Thakur and then throw him out of the assembly. And Devanand Pandit did not disapprove or did not condemn his disciples for doing such a neglectful action. Okay. So for this, he committed an offense. Like offense, he didn't actually commit, but by witnessing the offense of a devotee, which we can prevent, that is also an offense. That we clearly see, right? For example, the offense committed by the kings all over the world in the assembly of Kauravas, the disrobing of Draupadi Devi, whoever did not act, or whoever did not try to stop, they are all become punishable in the eyes of Krishna. So that's why in the battle of Kurukshetra, every one of the Kshatriya was killed, taking that as showing that as a major fault. Okay. So the same way Devanand Pandit become offensive due to that incident. So one time when he was reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahaprabhu was walking down the street and he sees that Devanand Pandit was reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. And Mahaprabhu becomes so angry, and he becomes so angry that he runs towards Devanand Pandit with harsh words, saying that, what do you think about yourself? You don't have any qualification. I'm going to rip off your Srimad Bhagavatam right now. Like that, he goes to punish Devanand Pandit. And the devotees of Mahaprabhu, they restrain him and they hold him back. He says, you don't have any qualification, never recite any Srimad Bhagavatam. Like that, he gives a warning. So Devanand Pandit, being a Mayavadi, he doesn't understand what kind of offense he committed. See, unless we have Krishna's grace, we will not have the ability to have the vision that what kind of offenses we committed. So because we might be thinking that I'm normal, I'm behaving normally, it's normal day, uh, there is no fault on my side, like that. But unless we have the spiritual vision, unless our consciousness is purified, unless we have Krishna's grace, we will not have the ability to see ourselves what kind of offenses we are committing. So that's why Devanand Pandit also didn't understand what did I do, why this person is like Mahaprabhu is becoming like, Nimai Pandit is becoming so angry at me, like that he thinks. So like it is at that point of time, it is easy to misjudge others, oh, this person is so angry, like, she's short tempered, like that. But we don't think ourselves what offenses we have committed. So then he, like, by the grace of Krishna, like, by the good fortune of Devanand Pandit, one time Vakreshwar Pandit happens to come into the assembly, uh, and where he was discussing, and Vakreshwar Pandit became so ecstatic and he started dancing. So now this time he had the good intelligence to offend him, not to offend him. So instead, because Vakreshwar Pandit dances so nicely, he was enchanted by his dance. And he was, even though he was a scholar of very high stature, he just like a, like like a god, he was uh, like he was protecting Vakreshwar Pandit from, by being by keeping other people away. And also when Vakreshwar Pandit was falling down, he was holding him. And when Vakreshwar Pandit becomes so ecstatic and becomes unconscious, he massaged his feet and he was dusted his body, and he immediately done that service. So due to which Mahaprabhu was very much pleased. So, and due to that that service that Devanand Pandit performed to Vakreshwar Pandit, Mahaprabhu revealed in his heart where he is going wrong. Then, like after that incident, Vakreshwar Pandit goes back and reads, and all the commentaries, all the things, he was able to himself see what kind of misinterpretation he was giving, and from that time onwards, misinterpretations of Srimad Bhagavatam. And that time onwards, he like start his pure bhakti process. And one time Mahaprabhu comes to Kulyagram after taking sannyas. Vakreshwar Pandit, by that time he was purified none of that. He was hankering for to have the darshan of Mahaprabhu, but he was very much careful because he offended Mahaprabhu many times. So he was standing a little bit distance and taking darshan of Mahaprabhu. When Mahaprabhu sees Devanand Pandit, but Mahaprabhu says, Devanand, you can come to see me from now onwards. I am very much pleased by your service to Vakreshwar Pandit. Like that, he gives him the forgiveness. So if you see these incidents, bhakti cannot be achieved by our own scholarship, by our own, by a devotee doesn't, Mahaprabhu, Sri Prabhupada writes here, right? A devotee doesn't aspire for any kind of wealth, name, fame, or anything. He was only after rendering devotion service, which is also acquired by the blessings of Vaishnavas and Krishna. He only aspires for that, and he only aspires for the association of devotees, because anything other than that is distracting. Anything other than anything, like even very basic things, what any person like says, he devotees does not should not try for material wealth, children, house, and cattle. These are bare minimum things. Now, if you see in America, one should have a house, and if you have a family, children, and now a nice, at least basic car, and like that. So the devotee doesn't even aspire for them. But if if they are given by Krishna's if they come on their own accord without special endeavor, one can accept them and engage them in Krishna's service. So by these all these stories, we can see, right, one the jnana means the knowledge, the yoga like Hiranyakashipu, or purity like that milk drinking brahmachari. None of them are qualification like to become a devotee. To become a devotee, like what is unflinching devotional service, as described in the last two verses, means engaging oneself in full Krishna consciousness or devotional service, accepting the Supreme Lord as all in all, means serving the devotees with proper mood, serving the Vaishnavas with proper mood, and with proper attitude matters a lot. So, like Maharaj says, one can be a devotee, but if he is performing devotional service to gain name, fame, or anything, then he is not actually performing pure devotional service. One should do pure devotional service only for the pleasure of Krishna and the Guru and Sadhus. When one fully engages oneself with dedication in their service, then that kind of person will be able to experience what is pure devotional service, and will be able to have a loving reciprocation from Krishna also. Only that kind of person who actually gets the blessings of Guru, Sadhu, and Krishna, then only that kind of person will be able to perform pure devotional service. So other than that, like if we aspire for anything other than that, then we'll be demoted into this material world, birth after birth, like going after one species to another species. And devotees are not fearful of that also. They are ready for that also. They as long as they have the proper association of the devotees, like Prabhupada writes here, right? Like he's giving the example of Sri Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur, what he says in Mahaprakash Lila, he asked for Mahaprabhu, let me, if you would like to give me something, make me some insect in the house of a devotee so that I can get the remnants of the devotee. And later on he says, no, actually, that is a very high position. How can I be so adamant to ask such a position? I am not qualified for that also. He thinks like that. Means to become an insect in the house of a devotee is such a high position, which Haridas Thakur says. Haridas Thakur here is not saying for the sake of saying. He meant it. He totally convinced that that is the greatest position. So, and what to speak of now, like some devotee, like I don't know, maybe. So going back to God era, becoming some Gopa or Gopi in the spiritual world, that's so very, very high position that we cannot aspire to also. So our aspiration is should never be like desiring something for our devotion service, but we should be always be eager. What is the qualification to achieve bhakti is eagerness. Like that the way that brahmachari like one time after another time he was approaching to us, please let me allow, please allow me to see Mahaprabhu dance, like that. He showed his eagerness. He showed his interest. So we make progress in our devotion service with our asakti. Means like our eagerness to advance in devotion service. That is our investment in our bhakti. So, like when Mahaprabhu sees that, oh, this person has proper eagerness, but he has certain fault, that he is little bit proud that I am drinking only milk, I am performing the tapasya, severe austerities. So Mahaprabhu wants to purify him of that that also. So that's why Mahaprabhu chastises that brahmachari, so that he will get out of that thinking that his austerities are making him closer to Krishna. So there was today morning I was reading that verse, like what is that verse? Yeah, it is said in Panchatantra. आराधितो यदि हरिस तपसा तथा किम, नाराधितो यदि हरि तपसा तथा किम, अंतर बहिर यदि हरिस तपसस्ततः किम, नांतर यदि हरिस तपसस्ततः किम. Means आराधितो यदि हरि means if you are worshipping Krishna with proper attitude, then what is the use of all this tapasya? Naradito yadi haris means, but if you're not worshipping Lord Hari, naradito yadi haris tapasastatakim. What is the use of tapasya if you're not worshipping Krishna? Antar bahir yadi haris tapasatatakim. If you are able to see inside and out everything is Lord Hari, then what is the necessary of all these tapasyas? Nantar yadi hari tapasa tatah. But if you are not able to see inside and out Lord Hari, what is the use of this tapasya? Means our goal, our entire endeavor is to only worship Krishna with proper attitude, and within, in and without. Within, how can we see, like how can we seek Lord Hari within? Means every thought, every endeavor, and like a memory, everything has to be engaged in everything has to be related to Krishna. Everything has to be Krishna conscious. If you are able to be on that level, there is no need of any austerities. But of course, we have to perform austerities only to purify ourselves, so that we can perform our devotion service more and more. By performing tapasya, we actually minimize our hankering for sense gratification, so that they won't distract us. That is they won't distract us from having this vision, this aradhana towards Lord Krishna. So that is the end of today's session. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Anything to say? Wonderful. Would you like to add anything? Is it?
That too, but like how these are very nice words actually. So fortunate to hear from you actually. Wonderful point which you shared, connecting back to Chaitanya Charitamrita. I like the point which you talked about, that Brahmana's attitude was amazing. Lord Chaitanya was pleased because he wasn't thinking that, oh, you know what, look at me, I'm doing so much thing and he's criticizing. He was thinking that, oh, you know, I don't deserve it, but somehow Lord Chaitanya immediately receives the mercy. I also like the point which you shared, and I was just thinking about it, about Vakreshwar Pandit when he was dancing. Devanand Pandit made a mistake before by disrespecting Srivas Thakur, but later he realizes and he renders menial service to him. And that actually purifies, and that is a consistency across Chaitanya Charitamrita. But anything, even to take the darshan of, when we see an example of King Prataparudra, he only gets the darshan by getting the mercy of all the Vaishnavas, and then only he gets the mercy. That is a consistent theme. It's wonderful, though.
Maharaj says Devanand Pandit would have said, "Oh, any of it, okay, guard him, or not, when he's falling down, protect him," like that. He didn't say to any of his disciples to do that service. He himself went and did that service. That's how he was able to get that mercy. So, like, we should not try to engage our power or authority or anything. But if you want to get full mercy, we ourselves has to do it.
There was another scholar as well who knew Srimad Bhagavatam very well, and he wanted to boast. I forgot his name. There was another scholar as well who knew Srimad Bhagavatam and would always look for an opportunity if I can, speak Srimad Bhagavatam, and then somehow Gadadhar Pandit listens to him. I forgot that also, the person from yes, Acharya. Thank you. Very similar situation that he wants to do this, and then he realizes very similar. He wanted to also have a Mayavadi interpretation of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Lavacharya gets a lot of chastisement from
What does that do?
Lavacharya gets a lot of chastisement from
Yes.
Right. They said that it is his initial stages, like when he was young, kind of thing. Later on, he becomes a pure devotee after his meeting with Mahaprabhu. Thank you. आराधितो यदि हरि तपसा तथा किम नाराधितो यदि हरि तपसा तथा किम अंतर बाहिर यदि हरि तपसा तथा किम नांतर बाहिर यदि हरि तपसा तथा किम. So by having always Krishna conscious thoughts, and by engaging everything whatever we have in Krishna service. Yeah, we have, when you are fully Krishna conscious, like generally what we think, what we meditate, what we contemplate on different things, like how it is profitable to me, how I can achieve more and more happiness by like our contemplation is to achieve more and more happiness, like how to achieve more profits, how to influence more people. That all endeavors are only to satisfy our ego. But if our false, we are totally out of false ego, but if we are situated in real ego, we are thinking that I am the servant of Krishna and I want to serve Krishna and I want to serve Guru. Then that kind of person will only contemplate, think, or meditate only on how to serve. That way, internally, he was totally, fully occupied with Krishna consciousness only. And externally, he see everything, everyone, and every object as Krishna's property and engage everything in Krishna's service. Everything belongs to Krishna. That kind of vision he will have. That kind of person, like for him, these austerities and everything means he already have achieved the purity enough, purity. I hope I'm able to. Thank you, Rogers. Please forgive me if I spoke anything wrong.
Prabhuji, I want to say something, Prabhuji.
Yes, madam.
Prabhuji, I really like the point. Unless the Lord purifies you, we don't know the mistake that we are doing. We may think that we are doing perfect. Others are, they are short tempered. That's why they are scolding us. That point is really amazing, Prabhuji. That even that person that you are mentioning in the story, that he was giving the Bhagavatam class and he's reading the Bhagavatam and Mahaprabhu is chastising him. So it's very hard situation, right, Prabhuji? I didn't do any mistake. Why Mahaprabhu chastising is accepting that mistake it's really high profile, Prabhuji. So I take this point very seriously, and I'll try to follow, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for wonderful class.
Anybody have any more questions online?
Prabhuji, thank you so much. This was such a nice class today, especially how you brought the point of what bhakti actually is, because it was a very long thing. Bhakti is not this, bhakti is not this. So eventually you start feeling disheartened that there is nothing that we can do. But then you brought out the point so nicely that it is very, very important that we do devotional service in the right spirit towards devotees with the right consciousness. No other endeavor. That point, Prabhuji, I really like that point, and it will hopefully, help me grow more inwards. Another point, Prabhuji, that you said, our investment is in bhakti is our eagerness. That was also, Prabhuji, very hope-giving point, that if we develop eagerness to do devotional service, that is our investment that will go in the long run. And also why tapasya is important, because it minimizes our hankering towards material sense gratification. That was also, Prabhuji, important and helpful whenever whatever little austerities become difficult for people like me. So that was, thank you so much, Prabhuji. It was a very nice class today.
Thank you, Madhu. Thank you for emphasizing all the nice points. Anybody have anything to say? Yeah, we'll end it here. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Acharya Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.